Stephen Colbert insults Karoline Leavitt on live TV. Her jaw-dropping comeback leaves everyone stunned. What was supposed to be a typical segment on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert turned into one of the most jaw-dropping and talked-about showdowns in recent live television history. Conservative powerhouse Karoline Leavitt went head-to-head with the liberal late-night host in a fiery face-off that had everyone, the studio audience, producers, and viewers at home, absolutely frozen in shock. The highly anticipated interview began with the usual Colbert sarcasm. Introduced as a former Trump staffer with a flair for political dramatics, Leavitt was clearly being set up as the punchline. Colbert launched into what seemed like a pre-scripted roast, calling her a walking Fox News chyron and questioning whether her brand of politics had any real future. But Karoline Leavitt, cool, collected, and more than ready, came armed with facts and fearlessness. When Colbert quipped, "You've made a name for yourself by saying a lot of things, but what exactly are you standing for?" Karoline didn't blink. She hit back with razor-sharp precision. "I stand for the America that still believes in freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom of faith, and freedom from media elites who mock anyone who doesn't toe the progressive line. And I don't need your laugh track to validate me, Stephen." The audience gasped. Colbert tried to pivot with a sarcastic laugh, saying, "Well, freedom of speech includes the right to call BS when we see it." But Leavitt's expression didn't flinch. "Then you should recognize it in the mirror," she replied. "You brand yourself as a comedian, but you use this stage to push one ideology while ridiculing anyone who disagrees. That's not comedy. That's cowardice dressed up in a suit and punchlines." The air sucked out of the room. Even longtime Colbert fans were caught off guard by the intensity and confidence Leavitt displayed. Cameras panned to the audience, wide eyes, stunned faces, even a few hesitant claps. The producers didn't know whether to cut to commercial or let it play out. Colbert, flustered, tried to reassert control with a joke about QAnon fashion influencers, but Leavitt, unfazed, kept the pressure on. "Your audience laughs when you insult conservatives, Stephen, but they don't laugh when you ignore rising crime, failing schools, or our broken border. That's the difference between politics and propaganda, and unfortunately, your monologues too often fall in the latter." By the time the segment ended, Colbert looked visibly uncomfortable. The usual light-hearted banter was nowhere in sight. And Karoline? She stood up, smiled at the audience, and left the stage like a champion who had just walked into enemy territory. And won. The internet immediately exploded. Clips of the confrontation spread across every platform. Within hours, Karoline versus Colbert was trending on X, formerly Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Creators on all sides of the political spectrum were dissecting her appearance, with many calling it the most epic late-night comeback in years. Popular hashtags included, "Karoline shuts it down," "Colbert called out," "Late Show drama," "Unfiltered Karoline TV moment of the year," "Colbert meltdown." Conservative commentators praised her for bravely walking into the lion's den and emerging stronger. Even some neutral media critics admitted Leavitt flipped the script in a space typically dominated by progressive narratives. And Colbert? Silence. No post-show commentary, no social media post, no usual post-interview tweet storm. A very un-Colbert-like response. Meanwhile, Karoline doubled down with a viral tweet. "Mock me all you want. But millions of Americans are tired of being laughed at for loving their country. I speak for them, loud and clear. Tashed unapologetic." She followed it up with an Instagram reel teasing a full behind-the-scenes breakdown and promising fans, "This is just the beginning." So what does this moment mean? It means late-night television, long criticized for becoming an echo chamber, may have just met its match. Karoline Leavitt didn't just survive the lion's den. She stared the lion in the face and made it blink. And now America's watching closely. Like, share, and subscribe to Watched for more must-see TV moments, bold political face-offs, and viral cultural clashes. You don't want to miss the next power move. Tap the bell and stay ahead of the story.